It's a whole lot of us, that's my family. Wanna go higher, turn up the tempo, increase the BPM, okay. Increase the BPM. Increase the BPM. Increase the BPM. Increase the BPM.
What's up, guys? This is Chris. Welcome to our weekly podcast, In the Huddle, where we ask current or former athletes into this huddle, into this space to talk about their relationship with God, what he's done, what he's doing, and what he will continue to do. We're excited today to have one of our sophomore lacrosse athletes and a big part of our SCA program, Rosie Cobb. Thank you so much, Rosie, for being part of our
Thank you for having me.
All right, so one of Louisville's finest, okay, from Louisville's homegrown here, Sacred
Yeah.
Heart. Tell us about growing up here in Louisville and the family that the Lord has blessed you with.
Okay, so grew up in Douglas Hills, swimming my entire life. My family, we were all swimmers. I have an older sister named Sophie. She turned 26 yesterday. She's 6 years older than me. And then I have an older brother, Lucas. He's 18 months older than me, so just a year in school. 2 parents, Trisha and Christian. My mom is a nurse practitioner, and then my dad is an air traffic controller. Grew up, big family, always playing sports, always being active. We grew up going to Southeast, so every Sunday we were there, would pray before meals. God was very, very active in our family growing up in our childhood. My cousins were here. We always would go to church, pray before all of the meals with family. And yeah, I would just say very, very active childhood, lots of friends in the neighborhood, always doing something.
So you said a lot of sports. Obviously, you mentioned swimming. Is that what swim club were you part of?
So we were a part of Triton,
Okay.
and then the Y, I was, and then Cardinal Aquatics. So I did swim down at U of L for
Awesome.
some time. Yeah.
Fantastic. So what other sports did you and your brothers and your sister?
So we were soccer, softball, baseball. I did actually play football in
How's
8th
that working out?
grade.
Tell me about that.
I wanted to at the end of it. So I grew up going to Great House Barrett Male. Me and my siblings, we were all traditional, and then I did transfer to Sacred Heart my junior year, but we can get into
So you
that
played
later.
football where?
At Barrett.
Really?
I did, yeah.
What
I
was the
did.
position?
I played kickoff and kickoff return, and then I did get to play wide receiver for.
So kickoff, that's fascinating. Kickoff and
Yeah.
kickoff return. Were you the kicker or were you like,
No.
I would have tackled?
Yeah, I did. First game, I didn't know that I didn't know that you couldn't tackle on kickoff return. Or kickoff.
Kickoff.
And I tackled somebody, my teammate, he ran it down for like a 70-yard touchdown, and it got called back because I
Okay,
tackled
so you
someone.
Tackle on kickoff
Yeah,
return.
yeah.
Okay, I got you. Well, that's
Yeah.
fascinating. I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I did.
playing all these sports, obviously sports were a big part of your family.
Mhm.
You know, your mom and dad. Was it something that you really enjoyed, or was it something like they just put us in this? We did it.
Yeah, I loved it. My growing up, my sister she was always kind of just like more so just she wanted to do it, but her heart was never really in it. She wasn't big on really diving into sports. My brother, he always had like the athletic ability, but he was always kind of never really that into it either. But growing up, I always knew I wanted to play at a high level, compete the best that I could. I was a huge competitor, always playing with my brother and his friends, always competing with them. I always wanted to be in with them. Hence why I played football in 8th grade for some reason.
Well, so you said you went to Male, then you transferred to Sacred Heart. You obviously were part of the lacrosse team there at Sacred Heart. A couple state championships. You played since your freshman year there. Very decorated and standout athlete at Sacred Heart. What made you make the transition from swimming to lacrosse?
So it got to be about 7th grade, and I kind of a little bit started to fall out of love with swim. I 7th going into 8th grade, really. I decided if I wanted to swim at a high level, I would probably need to transfer clubs. So I ended up going to Cardinal end of my 8th grade year, right when COVID hit. So all during the summer, we were swimming at an outdoor pool, and this continued into my freshman year. We were swimming at a heated outdoor pool, all during 2020, 2021. We would have 2-a-days there. And I just kind of think after that, really after my freshman year, I was just like, I kind of want to be more a part of a team sport. I really, really liked the team aspect of sports and what that community could bring. And I, I had played lacrosse since 5th grade, but never did club. So it was just school. I really did like it, but I think it was more so just me falling out of love with swim. And I was like, well, I gotta go to college. I want to play a sport in college. So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna really, really take on lacrosse full time. It was still being in public school. Obviously, we were half in, half out. We went to school like twice a week freshman year. So I had all the time in the world to practice lacrosse. We had a huge backyard. Um, just was out there all the time, every single day for hours, just like playing lacrosse. Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier just about the family that God has blessed you with. I know your dad. Your dad serves in the Shine Suite there with with the Ministry of Special Abilities,
Hmm.
and he's very faithful at that. As far as your mom, I'm sure that she's. I look forward to hearing what does it look like to grow up in your home. When you said that God was a big part of that.
I would say always serving people. That was a huge, really big message. And our house just, I mean, my dad, he's worked with the Shine Ministry and more specifically Evan Riggle for, oh my gosh, at least 10 plus years. And then my mom, growing up being a nurse practitioner, just always serving people. That's really what it's always been about. And now my sister is a speech pathologist, so she works with little kids, serving them with their speech, loving on them. And I just think it's been such a huge message in our family, really just about the love of God, serving people and spreading his love. Yeah.
It's awesome. What a message. We shine the best when we serve, and to watch your mom and your dad, and you obviously had taken that from them where you serve and you're part of our FCA, so it's a joy to watch that. So you started getting recruited. Obviously, lacrosse is, I guess, a good mixture between a lot of running like soccer,
Yeah.
um, using the stick a little
So
bit,
much.
except the opposite way, like field hockey, and you get to at least hit people a little bit.
Yeah.
Some ways, don't you?
Yeah.
So you get that level of football.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell me what it was like to be recruited out of high school for college.
So I would say being from Louisville, from Kentucky, it's absolutely not a hotbed at all. Lacrosse is such a growing sport here, not big at all. So I knew junior year, I transferred from male to Sacred Heart because I knew I wanted to play college lacrosse. And I knew that Sacred Heart, my coaches, would be able to push me to get me to a higher level that I wanted to play at. Being recruited was honestly not a stressful process for me. I really was only choosing between two schools, Maryville and St. Louis, a Division II. They have a really good program, and they're still in the tournament doing really well for themselves, and then Louisville. So my first visit was Maryville, and they had offered me, I was big on their recruiting list, and then I got the call from Louisville that they wanted me to come on a visit, but they were offering me a walk-on spot. And so Maryville found out about that. They did offer me more money, but I didn't really at this point honestly consult God like in my process, my thinking, my decision making really at all. I was just kind of like, I have a feeling that Louisville was going to be the place. I know I want to compete at a high level. I know I want to be on a high stage and competing against the best. I'm a big competitor. So that was important for me to be playing with the best, competing against the best. And so I was just like, yeah, I think it's just going to be Louisville. And like, I'm just hoping this works out. And really after my junior year, I was kind of like, I think the weight of being like a walk on and knowing like not coming from a hotbed, that really did weigh on me. And so as soon as junior year ended, we did win our state championship and it was great, but I was like, it's go time. Like I'm gonna train the best, I'm gonna be the best, I'm going to play like the best, and everybody's gonna know I'm the best. And then God had some different plans for me, but yeah.
So you come to campus. What made you choose University of Louisville?
Growing up, I think being from Louisville, you just know how big of an impact this school has on the community. And growing up going to football games, basketball games, swim meets down at U of L, you just know like you know the community that surrounds the college and you're just like, I want to be a part of that. In the ACC, playing on a big stage, like in your hometown, I was just like, I can't turn down this opportunity.
So you I mean obviously you come from a Christian home. You're uh, an active part of your church,
Mm.
the Southeast. You come on campus. Tell me what it was like to make the adjustment. Yeah, you're home. You're still in the same place. That does isn't that far from campus. You
Yeah.
still see your mom and your dad. And you still talk to your family. What was that like? Making the adjustment to being on the campus from a Christian standpoint.
I would say honestly hard just because you get to a new place and it is just hard to you're trying to find your people, you're trying to find your who you want to be. You're out of this high school version of yourself and you're now trying to grow into this new person and you're like, but who do I really want to be? Do I want to be like these girls on my team? Do I want to be like these girls on my team? Who's going to be my best friend? Who am I going to be close with? What are the people going to think of me like if I'm friends with these people or these people? Who really just like who do you want to be? And it was I think like hard to kind of find that freshman year like what what do I want to be? Like who do I want to be? And I think that was where I really had to learn to like lean on my Bible study group and FCA and my faith is just like, who do I really want to be?
Yeah, and that's fair to say. That's all of us. And I look back at my life, and it would be similar to what you said. That I got to get away from mom and dad, and it was great. I had a lot of time, but now, if God is going to be part of it, it's got to be part of my decision making now. It's not getting
Yeah.
mom and dad are putting me in a spot anymore. To follow Christ now, I mean, it becomes really my own faith.
Yeah.
And my own decisions, and as you said, who do I want to spend my time with? Who's going to be my Southeast language? Who's going to be my crew? Who's going to
Yeah.
be the people that I'm part of? So you obviously are part of our FCA. Why? What made you want to do that? What do you enjoy about FCA? Why should a student athlete be part of what guys do FCA?
So I really wanted to be part of FCA because growing up, I would every Wednesday at Barrett at Mail, there would be somebody coming Wednesday mornings or Monday mornings, and we would just have somebody coming to talk to us in the gym. And then I knew that how big it was at Louisville, and I was like, I want to be a part of that. When I get there, I want to be able to get involved. And I decided to join serve team this year just because I knew that I wanted to have a bigger role. And honestly, I kind of felt like it was more of me taking a bigger step in my faith. Like I felt like I was really getting into it. It was really becoming my own. And I was like, I feel like this is something I need to do to step out of my comfort zone. And now I have. I'm on this podcast. I talked to Eastern Mondays before their Eastern Lacrosse Mondays before their practice. I've given my testimony at North. And it really has like helped me step out in my faith and use my platform as a girl, as a local from Louisville, to be able to talk to these girls who are in this city. And I know that I was once in their shoes looking at the girls that were coming to talk to me and knowing that that's who I wanted to be like one day. And I feel like just using my platform to be an example of like what God can do in your life and the way he can change you.
Yeah, I love hearing that. Every bit of that. How you use your platform, and even when you were at Mayo on those Wednesday mornings, Monday mornings, Steve Wiggin getting somebody, people around. You're starting to see, hey, I can be that one day, and now your day's here. Your
Yeah.
time is here where you can really grow in your faith, make it your own, then also be
Mm-hmm.
an example to many people. He's
Yeah.
going back to local high schools and middle schools and give back. What do you think God is showing you now? We always talk about having a quiet time with God. That may be very foreign to a lot of people. They don't know what it's hard to be quiet anywhere nowadays.
Yeah.
But to really be still and listen, to have a quiet time with God, to get in your word. What does a quiet time look like for Rosie, and what is God teaching you recently?
My quiet time is definitely starting with my devotional, and just opening that up and really trying to let it start my day of how is God going to speak through me when I open my Bible. And then I open my Bible to just I've been doing kind of a year in the Bible, so I have been flipping around to different things. But just opening that up, taking the time to really, even if it's just 5 verses, like diving into those 5 verses specifically, and just getting the deeper meaning of each verse and writing it down. I've got my sticky notes. I've got like I love to make notes about that kind of stuff and really just diving in and praying at the end of it and just saying like God, use what I've learned today to completely change my day. I want you to dictate my day. I want you to be in control of my day. And I would just say that right now God is just teaching me that I'm just not in control. And everything that I do with like being injured and then coming to Louisville, having to redshirt my freshman year and just all the things that I've had to go through these last couple of years that have really shaped my testimony, I would just say that like I'm not in control. And like the one thing is that I have to give control up to him.
It's so good. The Bible talks about iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Who would you say that is there a person or are there people in your world that, these people pour into me, these people speak life into me, these people hold me accountable, uh, they show me an example of what Christ is like, and I get a chance to do life with them. Tell me a couple of those people, if any.
So first, my parents and grandparents. My mom's parents live here. My mom's side is from Montana. They moved out here. They are huge Christians, all very involved in the church. I know my grandpa goes to your Saturday morning Bible studies that you host, but yeah, they've just poured so much into me and my siblings and faith and shaping us. It was really just the seeds that they planted is why I am the way I am today and the faith that I have. And I would just say my teammates. Seriously, just the Bible study group of girls, the serve team group of girls that I get to be with. I've had the privilege of getting closer with Riley Engelberg, and she just recently got baptized. And to be able to see that as such a close friend of hers, it just is like truly iron sharpens iron. It's just so nice to be able to have a very close friend that you know is going to snap you out of something when you need to. They're going to give you the tough love, but they're also going to show you what it's like to be a follower of the Lord and push you every single day to be a better follower.
It's great to hear you talk about Riley and her baptism.
Yeah.
Because that not only trickled and was talked about with your team, but obviously she's dating Tate.
Yeah.
And to get to hear about that from Tate and the excitement that he has
Yeah.
for his girlfriend, and then just kind of go through they were talking about it when it happened at the dugout, with the baseball team. So it's just a cool thing to be able to see that. I want to talk just a little bit about just, and I think in my life, the name Jesus has meant certain different things at different time, whatever season that I have been in. And sometimes I know that he's my Lord and I know that he's my Savior, but throughout the season I may be in, I catch myself holding on to other words like he's my friend or he's my rock or he's my refuge, and then all kinds of different words. What season of your life would you think that you're in, and what would Jesus be to you?
Right now, I would say that he's definitely my rock. I think coming in, like I said, recovering from ACL, then re-injuring my knee, having to redshirt my freshman year, I knew that I could not do it by my own strength, and I knew that I definitely needed God to lean on to be my rock. And then I just think, sophomore year, haven't played lacrosse for 2 seasons. I've been out for 18 months. I think just knowing that, again, I couldn't do it by my own strength, I needed to lean on him. And instead of letting my teammates' opinions of me, my coach's opinions of me dictate my worth and the way that I felt, I knew that I needed to lean on him because he was the only thing that defined who I was. And he knows me, he knows my heart. And I think that gave me, honestly, so much courage in this season, knowing that he was my rock and he's always there for me, that I could get through, and that he has such a plan even when I don't see it, and even when I don't really feel like he knows what he's doing, he does. And I've seen so much of that, just little glimpses of he knows, he sees me, he sees what I'm going through.
And you mentioned your ACL. I remember that. I did my
Yeah.
ACL my freshman year in college, and looking back, I mean, it's been many, many years ago, but it was the best thing that happened to me and the worst thing that happened to me at the same
100%.
time. I hated not being on the field playing, but I thought I knew what hard work was. I thought I knew what determination
Yeah.
was. I thought I knew what patience was until I had to go through that rehab of really missing the game,
Yeah.
knowing that I wasn't going to play. It made me a better player. It made me a
Yeah.
better teammate. It made me a lot of different things. So I know exactly what you're going through with that. This past year, with FCA, we've been going through the book of Genesis now for about a year and a half, and then we talked about the Song of Solomon. Anything this year that stuck out to you, whether it's Genesis or whether it's Song of Solomon, that you look back and said that was really good. This was part um, that God used to really speak to my heart is
I would say that Song of Solomon really spoke to me. I think just knowing kind of how to be in a godly relationship, but also at the same time loving your partner well, and giving them what they also deserve, and even in friendships too. I think I loved how you gave us the 10, it was the 10 like don't, or I think it was don't do's in a relationship. And I loved that. I still look at that today. Me and my boyfriend, we go over it and we're just like, yeah, we need to do better in this area. But I think recently at church they've also been diving into Genesis, and I think we kind of talked about it a little bit at FCA, but just like Hagar, and I love how at church they've kind of been talking about Elroy, the God who sees you. And I've just every single day I've just been praying that prayer. Like, I know, God, that you've been seeing. You know what's in my heart. You know what I desire, and I'm giving it all up to you because you're the God who sees me.
such a good word. Tammy, when I told Tammy that you were going to be on the podcast, she told me you're going to love the time with her. She's so well spoken, and she's bold, and she's direct, and she's not going to be looking off, but she's going to be. And you just have a candor about you that is really, really good. And I know God's going to use you in a mighty ways. So, what's something that you like to do? I know no one really thinks about graduation as a sophomore baby, but what's next? You think?
So my major is political science. I do want to go to law school. Um, I have a couple different ideas of what I would like to do. But I know that at the end of the day, I want to help people and I want to make people's lives better. So something definitely in that legal field, and in ways that I can give back and show people God's love for sure.
Yeah, well, you've been a blessing. You've been a blessing to our FCA. You've been a blessing to my wife. I know she enjoys meeting with you. I know the lacrosse team. It's been such a super highlight in her
Love
life.
Tammy. She's such a blessing to all of us. We're
Well,
so
well,
lucky to
it's
have
like
her.
it's the same. It's a mutual thing. So, thank you for coming on our podcast. Thanks for letting Jesus shine in your life, in and through you. and all of those days when you said that male high school film on Monday and Wednesday, and then you
Yeah.
transferred over to Sacred Heart, taking Christ to you or with you wherever you go. So Rosie, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I really pray for us.
Yeah.
Father, I'm grateful for just the testimony of an athlete. I'm thankful for her family. God, what a blessing that they are. Thankful for her even talking about her grandparents. Just the legacy that they leave, and they live continually for you. And so, Lord, I pray for Rosie. I pray for the relationships that she's involved in, whether it's friends, whether it's a boyfriend, whether it's just lacrosse in general. Lord, I just pray to just be with her, that she'll continue to be a light everywhere that she goes. It's in Jesus' name we pray.
Thank you.